Yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I am your brother, Old God, the host and owner of Hip Hop News Uncensored. And sitting right across from me today is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother Sam and Viral Hip Hop News in the building. Another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. It's a Wednesday. We're hitting y'all with content every single day of the week, doing it like no other. Welcome to the brand new channel, the Uncensored Truth Podcast, bringing it to you right here. Finally, it's up and running. Y'all make sure y'all share this video in particular and every video that comes behind it.
Yes,
because we're coming right now. We need all y'all support. Excuse me, we appreciate it.
Yes,
God, brother, man, what's good, man?
Yes, man. We're gonna jump right into this one because me, and yourself have been covering the Meek Mill situation, extensively for the last few months. And one video in particular, or one instance in particular, was Nikki Minaj kind of coming out and saying that Judge Brinkley actually did everything she could do with Meek Mill. I dropped a video on it saying how Nikki, I thought, in my opinion, threw him under the bus, being as though they was in a relationship, why she would take the judge's side. When Nikki Minaj sat down with a publication called Ellie, and one thing that stood out in this interview is what she said about Meek Mill. Again, kind of throwing more, fuel on the fire. So I'm gonna read what she said, and then I'll get your opinion on this. All right, so Nikki Minaj said, I know that when I went there pleading for his freedom, I know that Judge Brinkley spoke to me and was very sweet and maternal, and we both cried in her chambers. And she gave him another chance, says Nikki. So I don't know what's going on. Sam Ant, what do you think about Nikki Minaj? Now, being as though that they were in a relationship, the only thing I could, come up with is that there's a little bit of bitterness there, that maybe she feels some type of way about what happened. And now she is kind of just saying some stuff that don't necessarily have to be said at this point in time, especially when he's still fighting that, that case and fighting to get the judge removed. What do you think about that, Sam, man?
She's definitely throwing Meek Mill under the bus, whether you're a Nicki Minaj fan or not. When you really dive and look into the situation, you lie. If you care about him, you lie. If you care about him, you don't say anything.
Facts.
And if it's not a situation where you don't harbor any bitter feeling on a breakup that happened, and we all know it was nasty. It was a nasty breakup. It was public. Everyone, we remember what Meek Mill threw out there on social media, what he immediately took down.
Yeah,
Nicki Minaj could still be harboring or feeling some type of way about that. And I don't know if that's justifiably so. I could definitely debate that because you're justifying it with this man's freedom. You're justifying it by saying that she did the right thing and she did all she can do, and you basically put blame on Meek Mill for sitting in jail behind bars for all the time that he did. When really, what did he do? What happened in those chambers that she said? What tears were shed amongst each other that you came out of there realizing that, yeah, this woman did all she could. He deserves to be in there, because you really gave us no narrative outside of the fact of painting that kind of picture.
Right.
In my opinion.
That's 100. And then she, Nikki says, she didn't want to badmouth the judge. Like, who gives a fuck if you badmouth the judge? Like, you're not in trouble. Meek's in trouble. You know what I mean? So if anything, just stay silent on the situation, or like my brother said, just make something up. Come out against and say, look, Meek, I thought Meek could do, he did everything he could do. The situation is unjust. I mean, you got everybody in damn near, I don't want to say everybody, but a large majority of even our top hip hop moguls and rappers that's see the situation as being messed up. How Nikki doesn't see it, I don't know. It has to be some type of bitterness going on there. But again, we could be wrong.
Nikki does see it. You can't tell me how. You see all the unjust things that happen to people of color throughout time in America. She's sitting here front and center watching the number and countless of lives that are going down at the hands of police. And you telling me that she did everything she could. This brother's getting with these. She deserved. This sounds something very vindictive. And I mean, if she's going to come out and say this, it would be dope to hear her at least come out and say why, or give a little more insight on it. We'll never know if she's bitter or not, but it's weird when Nikki comes to the court thing. We see what's going on with her brother, and that's a real dirty situation. Ooh. But she supports that 100%. And goes on with that. I mean, her brother.
That's her brother. That's blood.
But she rides with him at fault because that's her family.
Right.
But you don't ride with somebody that is getting unjustly taken care of or unjustly served, sitting behind bars, his kids sitting there hurt.
You opened up a can with that.
But I'm just asking.
It's real talk, though.
It's the Uncensored Truth. I'm asking you a question. What do you feel about that? I'm asking you.
There's been a lot of criticism, especially when you're gonna look at the facts of the case and what came out in that. Nikki, her brother's like
a dirty motherfucker.
Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth. Right. And but can you kind of fault her? That is her brother, but the allegation is just like, it has to be brought into question. Like you said, you throw Meek under the bus, but you stand beside this dude who's been convicted of doing some foul shit to a minor.
And I'm not saying that you don't have to come out and say anything. If you feel some type of way about Meek Mill, at least keep it 100 and understand what's going on to this brother and have enough decency to go, you know what? Nah, I'm leaving that alone. I got nothing to say about Meek. That ain't my situation no more. But you came out and said you defended Brinkley, who over and over and over again, you know this was personal with Meek Mill. You know it was. And she's still sitting over a case that he's not out of water yet. And you come out and say this. It just looks shady. It looks real vindictive, and it's fucked up, man. You tripping, Nikki. But you're listening to the Uncensored Truth podcast. Everybody watching on either channel or now the Uncensored Truth podcast channel. We here. We told you about it. Indeed. Go ahead and hit the like button and share this video. Let's make this go viral right now. I want to switch gears to our